audience together. Keith, Six8 does that really well. So what is someone, like, how is this bringing together of an artist and audience? How has it been for both the artist and the audience? And is there any magic that's kind of come from that?
Constant magic is the answer. And look, obviously I've got a few stories, but first, I think it's interesting that already we've hit on some really key themes. So like the development of cultural spaces, however you see a cultural space, whether that's an online space or a physical space, is I think going to be a really interesting part of the conversation today. And also storytelling, which, you know, when we talk about culture and the arts, that's really what we're getting at, is giving some kind of message and story. And from a live music perspective, I mean, it's the same. It's always been about telling a story, passing on a message. Before any of our cultures started writing, it was all about singing and using music as a way to perpetuate a message throughout the years. For us, that was a seminal part of forming our company. The core of what we are trying to do is to make it easier and more accessible for artists to give their message and give the things that they care about to the audience that are in front of them. And ideally to make that audience more intimate, so this can become a conversation between both sides. I remember at the end of last year, we got one of our artists, Sarah Frank, to come along to a friend of mine's birthday party up in Brisbane. And it was a fairly, intimate affair. There was like 15, 16 of us, I guess, in this big Queenslander house. It was at night time, and we'd set her up in the lounge room. She had a keyboard, and she plays like this fantastic soul and funk. And so she was doing outstanding gig. And we're around, eating our cheese and drinking our wine and having a great night. And about half an hour in, she came and joined us in the kitchen, like as you do in any normal party, and we're all having a chat. And invariably with any party, the conversation turns to relationships. So we started talking about relationships, and she said, we were talking about this situation where one of our friends had been friend zoned by this girl. And she went, wait, no, we're here. Ran off, got a guitar, came up, sat on like the bench next to me, and started playing this song that she'd written about a year ago about this guy that she'd friend zoned. And for me, I mean, it was an amazing moment, and she's an amazing performer, but for me, that was like a click moment for, yes, this is what we do. This is what live music is about and should be about. It's about delivering a message through this medium and giving your art. So that's been what we are driving for in our company. I think there's a few, there's going to be some tensions in our discussion this afternoon, which is what makes this panel interesting. Look, I remember a conversation I had with my business partner about 5 years ago, which was one of the first seeds of Six8, one of the first things that it grew out of. And we were talking about technology and how it was developing. Our fear was that technology would isolate people. We were going down a path where people would be stuck on their phone and wouldn't interact with each other to the degree that we do even now. And I mean, it's changed a lot in the last 10 years. We've gone down a path. I guess Six8 was one of the reasons that we went down the path of Six8 was because we wanted to give our little nudge to culture in Australia and hopefully the world, if we go that way, to use technology in a way that brings people face to face. And technology is one thing, but how we actually interact with it in a sociological sense, that's the real interesting guts of technological development. So if we can make that interaction about bringing people together in a room together and telling stories together, we think that's a really cool thing to do.
That's amazing. So, technology is allowing us to develop a greater sense of community. Now, Chantal, I know there's kind of, on this note, there's an interesting story on how the studio started. Do you want to tell that?
Okay. So this, well, I mean, really, I mean, the